And we are live. What's good, family? Hope all is well on this beautiful Friday. It's hot as Friday in Atlanta. It's hot as hell out here. Gonna let a few of the fellas roll up in the room, and then we're gonna get started on the subject of can brothers find a virtuous woman in 2020? But first, let's do a few news updates. At this point, the Dominican government has they're voting. I think they're going to go ahead and vote through another 45 days of a lockdown. Um, one of my boys actually made it out there today, so I'm not sure exactly if the lockdown is going to include, what all the stipulations going to be. I know I heard something about the minister saying that, the curfew was very important and not, gathering in large crowds. So I'm not sure if they're going to shut down the airports or not. I can't speak on that at this point, but we will find out shortly. I talked to my brother Greg Flip Flop, and he said we should know something concrete by this evening. So, like I said, one of my boys went ahead and jumped on out there. The guys that have made it out there, when they did open up the borders, they've been having a blast out there. And one of my favorite towns in the world, Sosua. So, you know, um, we don't really know exactly what the stipulations of this new lockdown will be, um, but it is a strong possibility that the airports will be closed again, unfortunately. Like I said, that's not concrete just yet. See what we got. Peace to my brother Don G. Hope all is well with you, brother. Like I said, I'm gonna let a few more guys get into the room before we really start with the flow, because this is a very important subject, man. Um, More so for my younger brothers, even for some of my older brothers, because some of my older brothers are not really knowledgeable about what to actually look for when it comes to choosing a life mate. 'Cause that's what she is. All these divorces and everything. You want to get it right the very first time if you can, bro. I know that seems impossible in 2020, but if our great grandparents can be married for 50, 60 years, all that, these long-term relationships, then we know it can be done. But I think some of the accountability we try to, in this black manosphere, we try to put a lot of the accountability on the women, which of course they don't want. They don't know how to live with accountability. So the accountability really goes back onto the men when it comes to you choosing a good woman to spend the rest of your life with. And a lot of brothers, unfortunately, you know, especially coming from my generation of the 80s when we had this whole independent thing going on, as far as the women is concerned. Then we had the broken families due to the drug epidemic. A lot of us don't really even know what a virtuous woman is. One of my favorite lines by my favorite rapper, Andre 3000, said, we're going to have to go to a museum to see what a real woman looks like. And he was right. He spoke it into existence. In 2020, a lot of brothers have no idea what a virtuous woman is. And I'm going to reference the Bible, right? And I'm not a religious nut. I did grow up Southern Baptist Christian, right? But I want to give it I want to give you guys some guidelines, right? And I don't want you to think I'm just making this out of thin air, because there's going to be some strong language that we're going to hear. And despite the Bible being tampered with, there are some, it's still our book. We still wrote it, the Hebrews wrote it, 3,000 some years ago. And it can give you a good reference on, even though it was a long, long time ago, it still can be relevant to this day. Once again, I'm not a religious guy. I haven't been to church in years, but me growing up in the church and being around these, virtuous, godly women, being raised by them, being taught how to read by them, I still have a good gauge of what to look for in a woman. And we're gonna get to that because a lot of brothers, man, unfortunately, and I see it all the time. And I mean, it's just getting just, I mean, brothers have no idea what to look for anymore, especially the young brothers, but even some of the older brothers, man. When I see somebody like, you know, Kanye getting with Kim, Wiz getting with Amber, you got what's the boy name? Troy something. What's his name? The little Canadian singer rapper guy who just shot Megan Thee Stallion. You know, not Troy Ave, Tory Lanez. You know, these brothers are trying to really have a long-term relationship with basically party girls. And I'm gonna codify some of the language in this, brothers, because I don't want the video to be demonetized. So you got to kind of read into what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say any, you know, any drastic language here. I'm just gonna call them party girls. But brothers are out here really losing it all. Tory Lanez is about to go to his ass to jail for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot, whether it's been by mistake, it don't matter. The fact that you had a gun out with a female going back and forth arguing with this female that twerks on, who's famous for twerking on social media. And that's another topic we got to discuss because the women back in the day, they didn't have the social media drug like the women have here. And these rules apply worldwide. All right. These rules ain't just for, you know, the AEW. These rules apply worldwide when you all around the world. Brothers really don't have no traits. And we've had debates and discussions in the Facebook group. Shout out to the Facebook group Blackmen Travels. I forgot to drop. Maybe I did drop a link. I'm gonna drop a link in the chat to join the Facebook group Blackmen Travels. But I see even in the group, there's certain dudes that would be like, well, if I did it, I can't get mad because no, nigga. No. You know what I mean? Some of the dudes trying to be like, well, Will got money, so Will don't know, bro. It don't matter if he got money. All right, he's making the brotherhood of black men look shameful. All right, we have black women have a coded effort, right? They at least make an effort to stay on code with each other, right? They don't even really speak down to each other. They don't even really expose each other. Shout out to Lisa Ray. She did a little video about Jada Pinkett and her little wicked ass ways. But for the most part, you haven't heard a lot of females coming out, you know, on a celebrity level, really dissing Jada for what she did to her husband. But it goes back to Will. At the end of the day, it goes back to Will on who he chose as a life mate. Was Jada Pinkett a virtuous woman? You see, men, especially this generation, see, because some of the OGs knew. Because I got gamed up by an OG, right? He told me a long time ago, hey, man, you need to be, your wife got to be in that 6, 7, 8 range, bro. 9, 10s, 11s, and 12s, they play in a different world. They just play in a different world. And also, I'm going to open up the stream at the end of the stream, too, if any brothers want to come on. Because I want to get some of you guys' opinions on, you know, what you might be looking for in a virtuous woman, and are there any virtuous women left? But to go back to my point, the women from back in the day, the 80s and 90s, that we had more of a bigger pool to select from of virtuous women than we do today. They didn't have the temptation. They didn't have the attention crack of social media. Social media is destroying women right now, brothers. All right? It's destroying women, man. Attention to women is like crack. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what's going on in the chat. My brother Don G says it's possible to find one, a virtuous one, but you gotta know what to look for, though, brother. Yeah, that's right. Tory Lanez. Appreciate that shout out in music. My brother MJ Hines says, what's happening? Sincerely M, what's up? She says, no man is an island. You gotta explain that, baby. I don't know what that means. But yeah, we're gonna reference a few things in the Bible. You know, I'm not gonna go verse for verse, word for word, of some of the traits to look for. We got about 25 in the chat. That's cool. We can go ahead and get the flowing. But brothers, first off, this is the main part right here. This is the main part. You can't allow a woman's looks or her sexiness to influence you on choosing her to build a family with. And that's going to be one of the hardest things to do. I know she's fine. I know she got the big bump. I mean, she's sexy. She's just what you want. The sex is good. Y'all kick it. Y'all Netflix and chill. Y'all are quote unquote friends, which is bullshit. All right. And you're thinking that because y'all get along somewhat, despite her having hella twerking videos on Instagram, despite her walking around half-ass naked everywhere you go, despite her having all types of past, right, all types of baby daddy drama, despite all that, because she gets your rocks off and because she looks good to you, you decide to wife her up, and that's one of the biggest problems that men have of all races. All right, it's all races. It's women out here. My father always told me that it's always one. It's always one, and I think some brothers will go out into the world thinking like, yeah, we hard, f all them, chicks, this, that, and the other. But it be that one that just kind of just tickle your fancy a little bit. I mean, you kind of let her get away a little bit more than you would, the average female. And when you're making that lifetime decision, man, the looks part, because looks fade, first of all. Let's keep it real. The women I went to high school with that I had crushes on, the women I was in college with, they all done hit the wall. And we ain't even 40 yet. They didn't all hit the wall, you know. So looks fade. And another thing, as a man, brothers, don't be in such a hurry to have children. All right. Not no more. Not in 2020. You are a man. Let's get that established first. You're a man, bro. A guy I read a lot, I look a lot into his information. He puts a lot of good videos out. Grant Cardone. This man didn't have his first child and he was like 51 years old. This man is a billionaire twice over, bro. If you're a man of ambition, if you're a man with goals, and I know most of you are, then the wife and children comes last, bro. All right, because there is some type of responsibility that you have when you're raising a family, bro. And as you get older, you can make a wiser decision on who you decide to choose to bear your children with. All right. So if you're in your 30s, especially if you're in your 20s, but if you're in your 30s, even your 40s, bro, don't get with a woman just because you're lonely and decide that I'm just feeding her, I'm gonna have a baby, and hopefully it works out. When you don't even have a guideline of what to look for. Because love is a verb, brothers. Love is something that is an action. It's just not a saying. Women be finessing you. I've had so many women tell me that they love me, which is total BS. They were in love with me temporarily, right? Because I made them feel a certain way or whatnot. They like hanging around me. I've had many women. A lot of you brothers have had women tell you they love you. They love you on Monday. Like I said this before, they love you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're not feeling you Thursday, Friday. They hate you Saturday and Sunday, and they back in love with you Monday. So that love shit is fickle, but it is a verb. It's a constant doing. The Bible says a woman should not eat the bread of idleness, which means that your woman shouldn't be lazy. Your woman should be consistently doing something on your behalf, brothers. Not for the man that she worked for. And we'll get to that later about women working all these jobs and shit and feeling like they don't have to do anything because they're sitting in the office in the AC in front of a computer for 8 hours of the day. They come on acting like they can't do shit. That's laziness. My grandma came home from the IRS and cooked, cleaned, did everything when she got off work. She didn't sit down on the couch and then order Uber Eats and watch reality shows. She got it in. She cooked for their entire family. That's what they're supposed to do. You got to keep your woman busy so unless you got the money, the means to have a cook or a maid or whatnot, You got to give your woman some type of direction, but she has to be open to take direction from you. This is the main reason a lot of these relationships aren't working out, fellas. Because you wiped up a woman that was not supposed to be wiped up. She wasn't cultured. She wasn't trained to be a wife to you. She just wants a wedding. She don't want to submit to you. She just wants the satisfaction of knowing that she's married or she's been married. She wants the title of being a wife with actually having to perform the duties of a wife. My brother Charles Jones says, I'm looking for Becky's, Louisa's, and Asian women. Greg G, I appreciate you subbing, brother. My brother K. Houghton says, salute to Blackmen Travels. By the way, fellas, Kenny Taylor's going to be on later on today. I haven't got an exact time, but he just had a recent trip to Mexico. So we're going to talk about his trip. I keep forgetting the name of the city he went to. So that's going to be later on today. He come on. He's going to tell us about the trip and our Stocks Over Thoughts series. But back to the subject at hand. The next thing I'm going to say, which comes from the Bible, and all this can be found in Proverbs. Like I said, I'm not going to get deep into the Bible verses, but I still remember on some of the traits that the Bible says to look for in a woman, bro. The first they spoke on is not being influenced by the beauty of a woman to make your decision on if she's going to be your life mate or not. That's very important. That's very important, especially in this day and age when you got so many options on social media. Your woman, your wife, you know, unless you can handle the 9s, 10s, and the exotic 11s and 12s. I mean, some men can handle that. That's cool, you know. A lot of my brothers have always, dated dimes, and we know how crazy dimes are. Dimes live in a different world, bro. Unfortunately, social media influences the 6, 7, 8 to think that they're their dimes, but they're not. But your wife, generally speaking, should be pretty, attractive, virtuous, innocent. You can't wife up a woman that's been in the game, who knows the quote unquote game of the streets, rather. You don't want to get with a hood chick, Even if you got some hood in you, you're a hood dude, you still want a virtuous woman, brothers. So don't be influenced by the looks per se. Like I say, she can be pretty. 6, 7, 8 is cool, man. Nothing wrong with a nice little 6, nice 7, nice 8, The next will be the bread of idleness, right? The laziness. You got to keep your woman active, man. She has to be the type of woman that you can give instructions to. She can't be looking at you side eye when you say, hey, baby, I need you to wash these dishes, man. I need you to, hey, I need my dinner to be ready by, a certain time. When I get off work, I want my dinner ready. It's okay to say that, brothers. It's okay to give your woman direction, but you got to pick the type of woman that's going to accept your direction. You can't be going back and forth with your female, bro. And that's another point I'm going to bring up, like the Bible says. Argumentative women are a no-go. Combative women are a no-go. Some of y'all brothers know, y'all know these women are combative as hell when you're dating them. And yet you still put a ring on their finger. I have no idea why. Do not, under any circumstances, marry a combative woman, bro. Don't even marry a woman that's consistently trying to undermine you. Because sometimes women, especially in Atlanta, women kind of have this little undertone when you try to tell them something. It's kind of like that twisting of the neck, that little, hell to the no. You got to G-check that right at the door at the very beginning of the very first date. You got to nip that shit in the butt. Or let her go. And if you let too many things slide, man, she's going to consistently disrespect you. And first, before the cheating, a lot of times, the disrespect comes first. Do not allow any disrespect from a woman whatsoever. I mean, go off on her like she's never been, if you really like it, if you really want to try to make it work, especially with these AAWs, brothers, you're gonna have to go off on it. I know you laid back. I know you're cool. You know, some brothers might not agree with this. You know, I'm just saying what works for me, and I think it might work for some of you brothers. Because I was the same way. I'm a nice guy, quote unquote. You know, I had a very disrespectful girlfriend early on who I was thought about marrying. I was even looking for rings. I thought that just how they work. This is how it goes. Because nobody gave me the game when I was younger. I got the game now. You know, we grow up in these environments where we let women speak to us any type of way. And as you can see, that causes them to go out into the world thinking they can talk to other races of men any type of way. And the other races of men like, oh, fucking, you a female. You all up in my face. You a fucking female. And that's our fault. You see the women, it's a clip going viral. Maybe some of you guys, I'm not going to show it, but maybe some of you, I know most of you guys have seen it, the women at the Sprint terminal in Fort Lauderdale, you know, going off on the little flight lady, customer service agent, throwing shit. What makes them think they have the right to do that, fellas? They are an embarrassment to the culture. Who does that? Because things don't go your way, you decide to start throwing things and putting your hands on people. Who the fuck are you to put your hands on somebody? These aren't virtuous women right here. All of them are cancer. You talk about cancel culture, cancel these females out here, bro. Cancel them quick. Like my brother Ramil says, pump and dump. You got to put these women in certain categories when you're moving out here, fellas. You know, you got your women that are just strictly for pleasure. And it's okay. You're a man. You got manly needs. This woman right here is for pleasure. Jada Pickett supposedly should have probably been for pleasure for Will. Will grew up in a two-parent household. He knew better. That's why we joking on him. Like, bro, you come on now. Bad marriage, bad. Like, what the fuck is that about? You giggling, laughing about another dude coming in your house and smashing your woman, your son's friend, off cold like a motherfucker, man. An embarrassment. Because he chose for a woman that was cool. She was entertaining to him. She went back and forth with him, right? Instead of getting married a virtuous woman to actually build a family with, where you can have some good children. Will and Jada kids weird as hell. Your woman has to fully submit to you. A virtuous woman would fully submit to you 100%. My brother Charles Jones said, you got to nip that shit in the bud. Nah, all right. Well, yeah. Now, see, I'm just saying, if you are deciding to date these women in the Matrix, I'm just giving you some guidelines. Now, these rules also apply all over the world now, brother, because these women in other countries will try you too. My brother Greg G says exactly. 2020 was the year of the great awakening for men. I agree with that, brother. Well, you know what, brother? My brother Charles Jones said the Bible. I'm all right. Listen, bro. I just want to give you, brother, some guidelines because there's some truth to power in the Bible, man. Whether we like to admit to it or not. Like I say, the book has been proven to be written in Africa. So they knew what a virtuous woman was back then, even 3,000 years ago. And if you apply some of the things, not all, but some of the things to the dating market now, because these brothers don't even have an idea, Charles, of what to even look for, bro. They have no idea. As proof, you just look at, just look at the rapper situation. Look who they wifing up. Why would Tory Lanez even consider taking a Megan Thee Stallion, a woman like Megan Thee Stallion, seriously, bro? See, this is a big problem with a lot of us, man. This is a big problem because we really don't know what to look for. We have no clue on who to start a family with. Because a lot of us never seen it. I seen it. Like I say, I'm a little older. I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the church. And despite, you know, some of the bigotry that goes on in the church, brother, the church was right across the street, or across the street from the church, rather, was a trap house, a crack house. So I have to give my family and other black families credit for at least trying to do right back then. At least they were attempting to raise their children with some type of culture, some type of guidelines. See, right now we don't have nothing to work with. That's why you got men making these drastic mistakes on who they choose to build families with, because that's a serious decision. That is the most important decision a man will ever make in his life, is who he decides to create his family and to have his legacy with. What woman he chooses to help him along his journey. That's a big factor, especially in 2020. Especially seeing how a lot of these women have not been cultured for us. Yeah, I'm the same way, brother. Yeah, I was forced to go to church. We all were. You know, a lot of us were forced to go to church. Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see that video that my brother O'Shea did. Shout out to my brother O'Shea. Man, Charles Jones, this kid is weird as hell, bro. Come on now. Jaden and Willow weird as a motherfucker. They're weird as a motherfucker, man. But man, to go back to the subject of a virtuous woman, you can't. I mean, some women. I've seen women bounce back. You know, I've seen women bounce back from some of their whorish ways. But that's not the norm. You got to try to figure out where your woman's been at. You know how you go buy a car. You know, you go buy a car. What's the first thing you do? First thing you look up. Look up the Carfax, right? You look up the previous owners, not to make women comparable to cars, but you want to know that car's history. Why? Because you're investing a good amount of money into it and you need it. A car is a necessity, and women can be, you know, some say they're a necessity, some say they're not, but women are important for a man, bro. Let's just keep it real. A lot of men need companionship, man. Everybody just can't, just move solo like that out here. Men are meant to have a companion. Some men are better at others without moving without one, but for the most part, man, generally speaking, and to make a generalization, most men, when they find a good wife, they life tends to shoot up in value. The assets shoot up. I will do agree with Kevin saying that when you do have a wife, man, you can focus your mind on other things because you're not worried about searching for, sex, basically. Let's keep it real. You got somebody at the house with you, fixing you food, fixing you dinner, helping you out. If you have a virtuous woman, if you have a good woman, but you got to kind of figure out, man, where she's been at. That's why it is good to try to date women that's in your circle, whether it be a family member, a friend of a family member. You can kind of ask your female cousins or your sisters, hey, what's going on with Charlotte over here? What's going on with her, man? What's going on with Tamiki? Who she been dating? Who she been this? You want to know because the social media with Tinder and all these social apps, you have no idea what you're dealing with when it comes to these females. I used to be friends with a female, a little Puerto Rican chick from Chicago, bro. All right. She was a full blown, I don't know if I can call her a female player or whore. I don't know what you want to call it. But her whole lifestyle was just finessing dudes. Never worked a job a day in her life. And we were cool. We were cool. This is back in the day. It's like maybe like, what's it about, 2011, 2012 or something. And this Puerto Rican girl is dating this baseball player, this pro baseball player up there in New York. I think he played for the New York Mets. And I was trying to give her a little game because even though she's dating this wealthy baseball player, I think he was Dominican or something, she was still out in the streets doing what she was doing, bro. And I said, eventually he gonna find out type of female you really are. Oh, I got him. I got his nose wet. Because he was on some square shit, of course. And I'm sitting here like he buying her rings, paying her rent, of course, bought her a car. And I'm like, this is a good dude. But he must not, like, how does he not recognize this girl is out there in the streets? And how did he don't know? Obviously, he had no indication of what to look for when it came to a good woman, bro. And of course, it didn't work out in the end. He just finessed him for more and more money, and he got the hell on. He wasted his time and wasted his resources on the bar. Charles Jones said, exactly, show me the whole facts. Yeah, brother, hey, I'm not mad at you, brother. I'm an introvert myself. I chose to understand women and not love women, so I get it. But that's not for, generally speaking, man, men gonna want to, they're gonna want a companion, bro. Generally speaking, men gonna want some type of companion. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it. We've been flowing for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a link in the chat if you brothers want to come on. If one of you brothers want to come on, just speak on it, man. Speak what you think. If you can find a virtuous woman in 2020. Now, collectively, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna keep it real with you, brothers. Collectively speaking, most men will not be able to find a virtuous woman in 2020. So most brothers, generally speaking, most of you will not be able to find a good woman in the matrix, dog. That's just the realness of it. Not saying it can't happen, but it's difficult. It's very difficult. I remember Charles Tyler saying that, rest in peace to brother Charles Tyler. Charles Tyler said, going overseas is not an option. It's the only option. I think I don't want to misquote my brother, but it's the only option. It's one of the biggest options that you can put in your arsenal. It's opening up the borders, bro. Going to different countries, experiencing different women, different cultures. That's been a little bit more cultured for male companionship, more so than here. Unfortunately, man, we have a lot going on with our women in this country. You got the whole educational situation. They go to college. They feel like, okay, I got a degree. Even though I make less money than you, even though I'm in $100,000 of debt, you're a mechanic. I'm a human resources rep or whatnot. I'm an H&R rep. I'm better than you. Even though you make more money than me. Even though, I'm in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And some women bite into that pill and they're dating, looking down on brothers for having blue collar jobs, even though these guys that drive trucks, electricians, hell, even guys in IT with IT certifications are generally making more money than them, generally speaking. So you have that, right? Then you have the independent thing, which comes along with the independence shit. That I can do bad by myself. I don't need no man. I'm gonna date who I want to date. I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna sleep with whoever, right? I'm gonna go in and out relationships for the next 10, 15, 20 years. You got that element. But more so, the most powerful is social media. Social media is like crack. We are in a social media epidemic right now. You know how we had the crack epidemic? Dog. These women are thriving off social media. I found myself on Instagram one day. I said to myself, man, I'm tired of just looking at all these sexy hoes on Instagram that I'm not going to smash. So I just started unfollowing females. I'm like, man, unfollow. Because, the females that, half-ass naked on the ground, these little enticing-ass photos. I'm like, man, I'm trying to stay focused. Unfollow. Damn, unfollow. Damn. And I'm like, damn, it's all of them. Damn, there are all these females out here throwing it up on Instagram now, bro. You go to Instagram, not so much on Facebook, but you got a lot of that on Facebook as well. But I'm like, damn. And I'm going to tell you another little slick thing these females is doing. Even the females that's married and in these relationships, bro. They know their man might grab their phone and check their DMs. What they do now is they have these little pages on the gram, right? It might be like chocolate hotties. It might be like caked up magazine, stuff like that. And they'll post the pics. They'll send them these pics so they can get posted, and they just won't be tagged. But the dudes end up DMing the actual page, and they'll forward the message to them, right? So when you go to check these girls' DM, you might not see. You grab the girl's phone, you check. Okay, ain't nobody in her DMs, right? Not knowing that she got a separate page. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're doing right now. This is a crack addiction to them, bro. I seen one female on Instagram. They get so mad when they shit get deleted. They've been posting naked ass photos to get their first 100,000 followers, and then they get deleted, and they act like they be going to commit suicide, bro. This is how addicted they are to social media. And the big problem is, it's a chick on Instagram right now about 300 fucking pounds. Right? She got like 300 pounds. She got like all types of flabby weight all over. And this bitch got like 80,000 followers, bro. She posts pictures half naked, looking sloppy as hell. And you got a bunch of thirsty ass brothers on there. Oh man, you beautiful, girl. You so sexy. Heart, heart, heart. Like. And I'm sitting here like, so now you got this 3.5 thinking she had died. You just ruined her. She's gonna go through life walking around thinking that she's gorgeous and don't need to lose some weight. This bitch gonna have a heart attack at like 30 years old. Bitch is literally 300 something pounds, probably about 5'5". Shay Star, what's going on, brother? What's happening with you? So, brothers, you got to get some guidelines when you're deciding. You got to have some type of code on what you're going to deal with and what you're looking for when it comes to choosing a virtuous woman in 2020. It's difficult, all right? Don't be influenced by looks. Don't allow her to be a materialist too, man. That's another thing. All this city girls, Birkin bag, this, Benz, this. Don't wipe up no chick is a materialist, who only cares about name brands, who, she gonna have your kids in nothing but Nike outfits, but dumb as hell. You see what I'm saying? Your wife, your woman is supposed to be teaching your children a different language, finances, just different things that actually matter. That's going to be a toolbox for them to be successful in this road called life. Dressing your children up in expensive ass shoes and do what you do out here, but you sitting there in debt, bad credit, but everybody in Nike up and Jordan up from head to toe. Don't get with a female that's like that, bro. Or she sit there and she want a new purse, she want a new bag. I used to date this chick, bro, who loved purses. She would buy a $400 purse once a month. This bride would buy a $400 purse, but call me and ask me to help her out with her light bill. Helping her out as in paying her light bill. Because we have somebody out that's like, okay, you need $20, $30 to go towards it. No, she needs $200-$300 to pay her light bill. I said, why is your light bill $200-$300? You haven't paid your light bill. So wait a minute. I ain't gonna say the broad name. I said, wait a minute. And this is when I'm in my 20s. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So didn't you just buy a Michael Kors purse at Rich's when we went to the mall? Well, you didn't buy it. I'm like, well, no, I didn't buy it. You know what I'm saying? You went and bought a purse for $400 goddamn dollars. Now you don't got no money for your light bill, miseducated. So your light's about to be off, but you went and bought a Michael Kors purse. You just had to have a Michael Kors purse. See, shit like this, you gotta, maybe not break up with her or let her go, but you just gotta kind of notate that. And you have to check her. You have to be like, yo, if we go further, we're gonna have to look at these finances together, and we're gonna have to make certain decisions, or I'm gonna have to make certain decisions. No, you're supposed to tell your wife, no, you cannot buy a Birkin bag right now. We're getting our credit right to invest in real estate. And if she is not listening, then let her go. Every woman is not marriage material. I don't give a fuck if you've been fucking her for 20-something years. Appreciate that, Bobby McKnight Harrison. Appreciate that, brother. Let me post that up in the chat. Bro, we gotta do another show, Crypto Over Hoes, for real, bro. I've been thinking about that. We definitely gotta do another show. JoJo TV, what's up, brother? My brother K Hodden says these women have big egos and are too prideful. I'm good. Yeah, like I said, man, you know, you're gonna have to open up your options over here, man. You're gonna have to travel. You're gonna have to get a, you're gonna have to move around a little bit to find your virtuous woman in 2020. But it's cool though, because now we're getting information about these other countries. So you can expand your options more. You don't have to date the woman down the block. See, in the 80s and the 90s and even the early 2000s, we were more focused on the girl, the Jenny from the block. You know, the girl down the street, you know, the girl at the store. I'm going to be honest with you, man. When I'm moving in America, when I'm in Atlanta, I kind of don't even really, I'm not even really studying these women like that no more. Because I already know what their mindset is. They're looking for a come up, especially the older you get. The older you get, the game gets more and more treacherous. These women will use you up and spit you out. A bad woman will. And you have to determine, because the way the media or the culture has shaped it in this country is that women can do no wrong. And brothers, if you pick the wrong woman, they will ruin you. They will send you down a road of no return. Literally. So, brothers, if you can have your own little personal code or guidelines of what to look for when you're dealing with women, you're gonna be okay. Like my wife, dog, my wife can look like, I'm trying to think of a okay looking celebrity female. Reagan Gomez, the chick from the Parenthood. Who all remember what Reagan Gomez, right? About a nice 7. That's cool. That's how you rock out. The big booty chicks, the 9s, the 10s, the Buffy the bodies, the women with the all the work and all that, the Cardi B's. No, dog, those are party girls, quote unquote. Talking code here. You know what they really are. But those are party girls. You let them go. You have your fun. You have your little 2, 3 months, hell, even 1, 2 years, and you let them go, bro. Let them fly away. Have your fun, enjoy them. It's nothing like sleeping with a beautiful woman. The best pleasures in the world. You're a hardworking man. You deserve those pleasures. But your wife, man, your wife, the woman you're building your legacy up, that's a different one, man. That's a different one. Your wife should love you. I'm talking about unconditionally, damn there, bro. Like the women back in the day did. My grandma loved the hell out of my grandfather. All right. And that's what you want. I see. I was able to grow up in a house where some would say my grandparents were like in their golden years of a marriage. So they were like in their 40s. And I could see the respect that my grandmother gave my grandfather. And I can see how happy my grandmother was being a married woman, right? Letting my grandfather run the show. You know, I come home from school, my grandma was always in the kitchen, bro. She was always working. She didn't have idle hands. It wasn't a point where, we would have our relaxing time. We would watch Godzilla and everything, right? But it wasn't a point where your wife is getting home from work, just ordering Uber Eats and being like, all right, y'all, go see Popeye's chicken. Now everybody overweight, everybody unhealthy. All right. Your woman's supposed to cook for you, bro. I was asking one of my young dudes, one of my young guys, right? I said, bro, have you ever have a girl? I think my brother's about 30, 31, 32. I ain't too much older than him, but yeah, young brother. And I asked him, I said, bro, when the last time you had a female come over your house and cook and clean for you, bro? He said, brother, I can't ever recall having a woman come over my house and cook and clean for me. I'm like, well, wow. Because when I was out there dating early 2000s, I remember when women would come to your house and straighten up. If a woman, my auntie taught me, if a woman come to your house and leave your house the same way she came, then that's a no good woman, bro. That's not the type of woman you want. She's supposed to come there, complain, do a little lightweight nagging on, why you got shirts and shoes everywhere. And if you're a clean brother, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But a woman should be ultra clean. You know what I mean? I'm guy clean. A woman supposed to get in there and pull that Lysol out. Now keep in mind, I'm clean. I'm clean for a guy. And guys can be, really, really clean. Don't get me wrong, but a female, she's supposed to come in there, man, and even if your crib is spotless, she at least supposed to go in that refrigerator and say, okay, baby, I see you got some eggs. I see you got some bacon up in this motherfucker. We ain't going out to eat nowhere. We're going to save our money. I'm going to go here. I'm going to cook us a breakfast dinner. And we're going to chop it up. We're going to do this. This is what we're going to do. That's a good female, bro. You're right, Cortez. Young women don't ever clean their own homes now. You know what, MJ Hines 3? I was going to speak on that too, brother. He says, let me post this right here. Fellas, think about it. Eve disobeyed God. That tells you all you need to know about women. One of the first stories in the Bible is telling you that the temptations of dysfunction, evil, will easily be reached into the mind of a woman, basically. All right. The temptation is stronger for her than it is for you, because as a man, you should have some type of personal code, some type of guidelines that you're moving with, right? Some type of integrity. Women not really born with that, bro. They see something they like, they go for it. You're right, rebellious. My brother K. Harden says rebellious. So, brothers, choosing your woman, man, give her instructions, all right, is very important. It's very important. You really can't have a woman just moving anyways out here and she expects to be with you. You gotta give her some ground rules and say, hey, if you're gonna be rocking with me, you're gonna be in a relationship with me, this, and this. This is what I require. So, brothers, I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up. I was hoping one of the brothers to come on for a little second so we can kind of debate, are there any virtuous women in 2020 in America? But it's all good. It's all good. Byron Knight Harrison, appreciate that $10 super chat, brother. We definitely gotta do another show. I read something about Bitcoin today too, man. I want to discuss that with you. So, brothers, I appreciate you coming on, and look out for the interview I'm gonna do with my brother Kenny Taylor tonight. Like I said, I don't have a specific time, but we're gonna talk about his trip to Mexico, because that might be one of the only places that we can travel. I believe that Colombia opens up hopefully next month. I believe Brazil is supposed to be opening up next month, but we don't know what these governments have for the new lockdown. MJB in the P2B says, I think part of its women know they have leverage with society, and most know they can get away with certain things or everything if you let them. My brother Mufasa Shabazz, hold on. Where we go? Hold on. I want you to hear the rules of sending your ladies overseas money. Hey man, that's on you. That's on the particular man. Hey man, I don't tell a man what to do with his money or his Johnson, bro. Like that's to that particular individual. Personally, I don't send money overseas, and I got some baddies overseas, bro, in the DR, right? And I keep the conversation short. They know I don't send them money at this point, but it's different, bro. Because I know a couple of my OGs I go to DR with. They send their girls money. You know what I'm saying? And when they go out there, and they go out there quite often, bro. Um, they women kind of take care of them. They be in their little spot. They be chilling. So it all depends on the relationship you have with that woman. I'm gonna tell you this though. I'm gonna say this: if your woman is, let's say, over 30, all right, and you sending her a little paper every now and then to cover some bills, man. You really, if you did a good job of selecting the female, and you go down there at least, I would say, once every 2 to 3 months, you down there consistently. I ain't gonna say because a woman you live with would cheat on you, bro. But she's a little bit more mature. You should be okay, bro. You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't be out there running the streets if you out there, taking care of it. Now I have seen women, like my boy got hurt when he saw his girl out there in Sosua on Super Bowl weekend. He sent her to school and everything, but it happens. But for the most part, man, women in the DR or countryside, they be chilling, man. They be chilling. Bro. Now if she young, she under 25, she like between 18 and 25. You already know what she's doing while you're not there. That shouldn't even be. You shouldn't even be. She young, bro. She young. She on the island. Shit. She gonna be doing what she doing. You're right, brother. My brother Mufasa Shabazz says you can't be given value. Okay, hold on. I got somebody in the. Brother Charles, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing? Can you hear me?
Hey, I'm good, man. Can you speak up a little bit? I can't hear you that well.
Yeah, I'm at the airport right now.
Oh, you're at the airport?
Yeah, I'm working.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm on the ramp and shit.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to get on up out of here, bro.
Not for another year or so.
Oh, okay. You shutting the travel down for 2020?
Yeah, I'm out. I'm done. Fuck it. The group, come back next year.
Gotcha. Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So let me ask you this, man. Have you been listening to the stream?
Yeah, I've been posting.
So, bro, what you think? You think you can find a virtuous woman in 2020?
I'm sure there are, but I don't care anymore.
Okay. You done?
I'm out. I know that Seinfeld episode where Kramer slams that money on the bar table and he says, "I'm out." That's me.
So now, to be clear, you're saying the women in America, you're done.
I'm done. They had over 30 years to get their shit together. Nope, I'm done.
Hell, I mean, shit, I can't be mad at you, brother.
I can't be mad. Me, mais para yo. I'm done.
Now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick, man. Was it one particular relationship to why you stopped dating in the Matrix, or it was several? It was the whole experience you had with relationships with women in the Matrix.
Relationships with women plus things I've seen with my friends plus things I've seen in general. Plus that documentary, plus just a lot of y'all stories, plus the child support groups I'm in. I don't have any kids. I'm just watching. Just a lot of that stuff combined. I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, man.
And it's good to have high standards too. That's another thing that saved me was that high standard.
Yeah, a lot of guys don't have any standards. A lot of guys are we just go for looks, and we deal with a lot of that just so we can get access to what Coach Grant Adams say, pink sleeve, and we deal with a lot of shit. And what happens is she goes from guy to guy getting away with more dysfunction, basically. So she gets worse and worse as she gets older. So when you start to get up in age, the women that's around your age, let's just say after 30, a lot of them just batshit crazy, man.
And that's no longer my problem. That's theirs. They got to deal with that.
Hey, so what countries you be going to, bro?
Argentina, Italy, Spain, England, Greece, Czech Republic.
Argentina. What's Argentina like, man? Because I keep hearing brothers talk about Argentina.
Argentina's beautiful.
Mm.
You definitely got to hit up Buenos Aires one day.
Mm-hmm.
Get you a nice steak dinner. Get you some nice Thai food. Go see a junior soccer play game. You're good.
Mm-hmm.
Travel out to Mendoza to the wine country. I mean, I know a lot of people think it's racist, and it kind of is, but they'll treat you well. I've been going back like 3 times. Planning trip number 4 right now.
Okay.
In fact, my Facebook reminded me years ago I flew down there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I work here at the airport watching these planes take off and land and shit like that.
Okay. Yeah, man, I gotta get some more information about Argentina because I've heard that. I got a brother, I think it's my brother Charles.
That's me, dude.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah, man. Because I've heard different. I've dated Argentina over here. She was cool. That was a long time ago though. So yeah, she's definitely different.
She ever take you to an asado?
Say that one more time.
Did she ever take you to an asado?
No, she didn't. Mm-hmm.
That's why she's the next, man. You gotta get to one of their asados, man. That shit will change your life. Like a Brazilian churrasco, you gotta get an asado. You think you know barbecue here? We don't know shit. You go down there. And I put a medium steakhouse down there versus a top steakhouse here, and they'll probably win.
Okay, interesting. And Argentina, where do you stay in Argentina? Is it more like you stay in hotels or like an Airbnb?
I stayed in hotels every time I go because I get discounts through my job, and even if I didn't, the rates are still cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta remember the Argentine peso is worthless against the dollar.
Okay. But yeah, brother, we're gonna do another stream on that what was the name of that subject of that show? Latin America versus Africa too. I know you said you want to get on that stream at some point.
Yeah, I missed it, man, because I picked up a second job, so I couldn't really listen.
Yeah. And I already know you pretty much prefer Latin America over Africa.
All day, every day, twice on Sunday. Hell, I'll pick Europe over Africa. But I want to see where my family's from, so I will take that pilgrimage. I definitely want to check that shit out.
Okay. Well, man, I appreciate you.
I've had bad luck with Africa.
Okay. Well, man, I appreciate you coming to the show. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, man. I gotta do a little ripping and running on this Friday, but
yeah, I gotta go pick up my flight anyway. So.
Okay. So, man, if you want to come back on later on, man, I'm gonna have my brother King Taylor on here later on tonight talking about his trip to Mexico. So.
What part of Mexico did you go to?
Nah, is it Guadalajara or some shit? It's Guada something.
Guadalajara?
Yeah, there you go.
Jalisco?
Yeah.
I've been to Mexico City and Tijuana, man. That shit was dope.
So it was dope.
I like Tijuana better than Mexico City. I got kind of sick because it is true about the altitude sickness. But I love Tijuana.
Yeah,
Took in a
yeah,
solos game, checked out at Elitas in Hong Kong, went back the next day. It was good, man. I love Tijuana.
yeah, man.
Mexico City was pretty cool too, but a lot of Venezuelan girls down there.
Man, I love me some Venezuelan women, bro. I got a Venezuelan woman in the DR right now, but I don't send her
Only
money.
Mexico.
So, bro,
Nah, don't do it.
we'll definitely chop it up later on, man. You free? You come on the stream.
Yeah, yeah. If I don't have a flight, I'll probably check it out.
All right, cool. Appreciate you coming on, brother.
All right, man.
All right.
All right.
All right, now. All right, fellas. Well, that sums up the show for the day. I appreciate you coming through, checking it out, man. But to sum everything up, brothers, you know, just be more mindful, basically, on who you decide to bear children with at the end of the day, man, because that's extremely important, bro. That's one of the most important decisions you ever make in your life. And a lot of us, just don't know, bro. A lot of us just haven't been taught what to look for. So that's it, bros. Peace.